Ok, estudiantes, bienvenidos a Senor Kelly's explanation of the verb tense, or often called a verb mood. That's why it says modo here, not tiempo, called the condicional. Vamos a ver cómo se forma y para qué se usa. Alright, so how is it formed? The conditional, this should definitely go in your notes. You take the infinitivo, meaning the whole infinitive, and you add these endings. All right, this is key that you keep the whole infinitive. You do not drop the AR, ER, IR. Additionally, these are the endings that are used for any verb. AR, ER, and IR verbs. All right, make sure you pause the video, put this in your notes. Here are a couple examples. Here's an AR verb, pagar. It's in your vocab this chapter, to pay. All right, so you can see it's pagar, the whole infinitive on there, and then the ES are stuck onto the end. Ser, the verb to be. Typically a very irregular verb. Here it's actually following the rules. You keep the whole infinitive and add the ES on the end. So sería, serías, sería, seríamos, seríais, serían. And here's an IR verb, pedir, right? To order, to ask for, to ask someone to do something, pediría, pedirías. Just again, full infinitive with the endings. There are some irregulars. There are more than you're going to see on this list, but these are the ones that you're going to be responsible for. Hacer, to do or to make, right? Your stem becomes this, and you add the endings. So haría, harías, haríamos, whatever. Decir, to say or to tell. That becomes your stem, and you add the endings. Poder, to be able to. Podría, right? There's your stem and ending. Venir, to come. Vendría. Tener, to have. Tendría, or even if you can do have to. Tendría que, things like that. Alright, we've gone over the formation. Why is it used? Hypothetical situations. Would you take biomed? That's a hypothetical question. I would never take DigLit 2. Tomas would like to go to a good college. What would you study? These are all hypothetical questions or situations. So here's what they would look like in Espanol. Would you take? Well, we have the verb tomar. We had ias because it's you. Tomarías la medicina, biomed. I would never take. I'll take, again, is tomar. So nunca tomaría taller de tecnología 2. Tomás would like to. Well, like really ends up being le gusta with the verb gustar. Le gustaría ir a la universidad. What would you study? Well, estudiar. Estudiarías. ¿Qué estudiarías? So, hypothetical situation is sort of like the future tense. It's not the future tense because it doesn't sound quite as certain. I would take Spanish for versus I will take Spanish for. What is the difference between those two? Just the word would and the word will. How does it sound different? Take a minute, pause the video, talk about it. Okay. That's the basics. All right, we're going to move on to the next level deeper right now. What you just did is what you're going to really be held responsible for. Here's the next level. You got to be careful not to mix up this tense with the imperfect in English, because we use the word would in English for lots of different things. So when I was a kid, we would visit my grandparents in Maine. Is that a hypothetical statement that's kind of about the future, but not quite as certain? No way. It's a description of a habitual action in the past, which we've already gone over. This is the imperfect tense that you use to do description in the past. So in this case, we would visit is nothing like we will visit. No, it's like we used to visit. So that's the imperfect tense. So it ends up looking like this. Visitábamos with the abas, right? So you can almost ask yourself, if you're trying to decide between, is it going to be the imperfect or the conditional? Could I replace it with will, or could I replace it with used to? Take a couple minutes, look through the sentences you see in front of you, can you replace it with a will or a used to? If you can replace it with a will, then it's conditional because it's a hypothetical statement about the future. If you can replace it with a used to, it's an imperfect statement because it's about the past, a habitual action in the past. All right, take a couple minutes, go through these, see what you think. All right, it's also used for some other things. For example, making polite requests. ¿Me prestarías 5 euros? That should have a question mark in the beginning, huh? Prestar to loan. So, like, would you lend me 5 euros? No entiendo la tarea. ¿Me ayudarías con whatever you were doing, right? Would you help me? So, will you help me, or just help me, or whatever. It's a softened request. It's also, this is something you're going to have to know later, narrating a story in the past. It's used to refer to events that seemed rather certain to happen in the future at the time. For example, my grandparents thought that they would find more opportunities in America. Your grandparents, at the time when they are thinking this, are fairly certain that this is going to happen. They're thinking about their own future at this time, even though the whole thing is in the past. It doesn't matter whether this comes true or not. It could be but no, or they did. It doesn't matter. This is going to be condicional. Verb encontrar is defined. We got the ia on there. That should have an X mark. My great-grandparents, the thought in the past, right? So that's here actually imperfect, that they would find. So other examples, I knew that they would arrive late to class. We thought that the exam would be difficult. It doesn't matter if we were right or wrong. At the time, we were fairly certain. Okay. Head on over to conjuguemos, right? And you're going to look for the section that says conditional. Already got it kind of pulled up here, right? Remember, I always want you to go to 2 minutes. We can customize it and pick verbs using the control key that we know. Even some irregulars like this here, which you know you're going to be responsible for. I'm skip haber on purpose. Skip haber. There, ear is normal. Here, fine. Poder is on your list. Skip poner, don't do it. Skip querer, don't do it. Skip saber, don't do it. Skip salir, don't do it. Yes, do ser, tener. Skip vender. Do these last two. Alright, oh, and of course you can do the algo of vosotros if you want. Again, if you're going to be an honors student next year in Spanish 4, you want to do all of them. I'm just going to leave it on all. Alright, and remember, whoops, where's my start? There we go. This is an irregular one. That's my stem. I'm going to have to add accents all the time. So actually, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to copy that RIA because I know that's going to be in every single one.